Hey guys, before we get to River Valley Glassworks review, if you want to see a full playthrough of us learning the game, join our Patreon. Link in the description.
Check us out live every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern for Whiskey Wednesday.
Follow our Instagram. We post reels and memes, and we've also got a very active Discord. See you in there.
Back to the show.
You guys know who the GOAT is, don't you?
Who?
I'm the GOAT.
I'm the GOAT.
I'm the goat.
Hey, stop eating stuff, Bob.
Bad. Hey guys, I'm Tim.
I'm Bob.
I'm Mike.
And this is a board game rundown. And today we are going to play, we're going to talk about River Valley Glassworks. Now, this is the deluxe edition, and All Play did send this over to us to play it. This was Mike and I's first kind of exposure to the game. Bob has played it before, so he got another game in. So hopefully, well, we'll just see. We'll see how that affected your experience. We did also play with some of the modules. So it's got a little small box expansion that's just cards, and they recommend that you use one or two of those at a time. So you just pick a couple out, throw them in, and I do not feel like they really added to the complexity of the game at all.
No.
Yeah.
If anything, took a very lighter weight game and added like one tiny little layer of seasoning on top. So real quick, we'll throw to the top down for the rundown. All right, guys, River Valley Glassworks, it's really straightforward. On your turn, you're going to be able to do one of two things. You're either going to take from the river here, or you're going to take from the lake and add it to your pan. To take from the river, you're going to look at your pan. You've got different shapes in here. You're going to play one of your shapes to the tile that has that shape on it, and then you can pick up everything from the adjacent tile. That was not a great move. Let's try a different move. Let's try this one, because now I'm going to pick up these. Now, these two here that I'm going to pick up right here, they're going to go now into my inventory, and they've got to start at the left and go to the right. Now, when I get any like colors, they're going to stack up. So as this sort of fills out, if I were to draw this one, now that one would go up there, and then I got this one, and then, oh, I got another one of these, and then I get this one. And then as the game goes along, you're going to track your inventory, because that is going to tell us when the end game triggers. If you ever draw a piece that cannot fit in the row, because there are more colors than you do have room for here, or you have too many pieces to fit up at the top, they go into your overflow, and you're going to get negative points for each piece there. So on your turn, like I said, you can do that. Then you can draw from the river. Then you're going to repopulate. You're going to slide that empty tile back. You're going to throw, there's little stones on here. You're going to repopulate that tile. Or, hey, I don't want to do that. That's a terrible idea. You can take from the lake, and you can hold up to 5 pieces in your pan. So pick whatever pieces you want. Make sure you know, hey, they're going to your pan, not to your inventory. And then once you've done that, you're just going to refill the lake from the bag, and then you pass the turn. And so that's how you're going to be able to pick what tiles you want to activate as you go through. Once somebody has gotten to 17, we will check everybody's pans. Anybody that is lower than 3 pieces of glass in their pan will fill from the bag until they have 3. And play will resume. You'll finish that turn, and then you'll play one more full turn after that. Then you're going to tally up your scores. You're going to get points based on how many full rows you have. So if I have full rows down here, let's see if I can make that happen. I can't do that with what I got right here. Let's see. Boom. Nope. Yep. So this would be a terrible score. So let's fill this out a little bit, so it looks like I played a lot better. But so here we go. And then you also are going to have like a rarity chart here. So you might want to pay attention to that as you're drawing or picking your pieces of glass, because that could really affect your game. So if this row was full, I'm going to get 22 points. And then this one only goes up to 16. So for this row, I'm going to get 16 points. Now this row only goes this far, so I get 11 points. And then the next row, actually, there's nothing here. So this part doesn't matter because there's nothing here. 0 points, 0 points for those. Then we're going to score these columns. So you're going to score your 2 tallest ones. You're going to look at the number underneath that piece. So that would be 20 points, and that's another 20 points. So I'd get 20 points for each of those columns. If there was a tie for the next highest, you go farthest left. So that would be this one over here. So that would be only 3 points if that were the case. And then if you are playing with any modules, you're going to use that scoring. And then don't forget to take any negatives that you have from your overflow. And that's how you score. And that is really how you play River Valley Glassworks. It is super fast and very straightforward.
That was
Guys,
probably the worst teach I've ever heard you do, Tim.
what if it was you?
It wasn't me because it happened in real time.
Well, while that was happening, war atrocities are happening one room
True.
over.
War crimes are being committed in the room next door.
Okay, so anyways, that is how you play River Valley Glassworks. Let's get into everybody's thoughts on it. Mike, let's start with you.
Sure. First thing that draws you into this game, very obviously, is the Andrew Bosley art. It is adorable. All the little critters that you can be in this game just look great. So that's the most obvious thing. And I really actually like this, and not just because it's a mat, the board, I'm sure that it's the art that draws me into this part here. I like how functional it is, that you can see like the river and the different icons on the river, and that these pieces are like slowly going down the river and going into kind of like this eddy here where all of the pieces sort of congregate. I really like the thematic touch of the art on this and how the tiles are like coming down the river. But as far as the gameplay, this is really enjoyable. It's really easy to learn, but there is a lot to think about on your turn. So I would say this is high on my crunch per rule ratio. And the simple fact that all you're really doing is just 1 or 2 different things. You're putting a rock out and you're taking multiple rocks, but then you've got this like spatial scoring puzzle right here, which is really the crux of the game. And I think it's just interesting enough that it gives you a lot to think about. Like, for example, I scored a lot of points toward the end of the game because I had all of my white stones at the very end, and that is the highest scoring. The further you go right, the higher scoring these are if you are able to create a stack of these stones. And I was able to max out. There were 4 of the white stones sitting in one area that I was able to dump all there. And like I saw it building up, and there were actually a few times earlier in the game where Bob took the spot that had the white stones, but then more white stones kept getting added to it, so it actually made it even better by the time I was able to take it. So there's good player interaction here too. Like, people can really kind of change what you do on your turn by taking the stones that you want out of the place there. And I like how it resets. Like, you after you set the stones down, you pull that up and then you move it to the back of the line. So there's the good little scoring puzzle going on here. These modules that we added were really good, with just like extra scoring based off of different shapes that you collect, and this bonus ability of, if you place a certain rock down, you can pull an additional stone out of the lake and add it to your inventory here. I enjoyed this. This is a fun game, and it's light enough to where you can teach this to anybody, and experienced gamers are still going to enjoy it because there's strategy in this.
How about you, Bob?
Yeah, so the first time I played this, I wasn't quite aware that these were different colors. Like, they looked very similar to me, and I had it feels bad at the end of the game when it was pointed out to me, like, why did you do that? And I'm like, do what? And yeah, so these are different colors. This time, I don't know if it's maybe our lighting in here is different. I could tell that this was definitely darker than this one. I couldn't tell you what color that is, but I can tell you that it's definitely darker. There's like more pigment in it or whatever. So I didn't have as hard of a time with the colors this time, which was good. Didn't help my score at all. But I did, I did do better than I did the first time. The first time it was really jacked up. But the different shapes, I love that puzzle of I need to put a shape down here because I'm trying to get, all those pieces. And what Mike was saying, how that tile comes out and then everything slides down to kind of simulate the stones flowing down the river. I think that's super interesting. The dual layer player boards are nice, and your little meeple guys have like a little spot on them to keep track of how many They fit right in the slot, right? So you can keep track of how many pieces that you've got on your board. I like that it gives you the meta breakdown here, so you can try to calculate, do you want to have the common stones to the front or wait and try to put the common stones to the back, so you could do shenanigans like Mike had done. So we did use these 2 modules. Are there more modules?
Oh,
than
yeah,
that in the thing?
yeah. There's a ton of different
Okay,
modules. So
cool.
there's like orders from afar. So you're gonna have a special order. So you're trying to meet
certain color
requirements.
That one might be a little bit more difficult because like these colors on here, I have a hard time matching to the colors on here. Like, you know, I'm talking about a lot of times the ink printed colors don't quite align with like the stone colors, like to me.
Sure.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I mean, if it's like yellow and orange, okay, I can kind of tell like yellow and orange, sure. But like these blue ones here are, it's tricky for me.
And then you'll have equipment. So it's going to give you extra VP. It's going to help you like modify like how you score at the end, right? So score 5 VP for each of your columns containing at least 2 matching shapes.
Okay.
So things like that, right? And then there's a flooded market. So each player is going to have an undesirable color that has flooded the local markets and become less exciting to their customers. So the shortest column with your undesirable color is going to score higher VP. So if you can get you're not going to score points, you know, so you're trying to get like basically the shortest column to,
well, that's something interesting too, is that there are 8 different colors, but you only have 7 different rows to put things in, or columns, I should say. And so whichever ones you have, whichever color ends up being the oddball out is going to your negative spot, which you got to be careful about. And that's interesting. The flat bottom bag, I think that should be a new standard for games that want to have pieces where you're pulling them out. You need to have a nice flat bottom bag so the bag can just sit there and you can reach your hand in and pull it out.
Dude, it's so easy. It's so easy.
It's super nice.
Play it. I just like didn't even have to like look over it.
Yeah. So great production value on this. Even like, I would say, I'm not sure, because I would probably opt for the deluxe if I was getting this myself, because these acrylic tiles are super nice. I haven't seen the base version to see how they do it, but I know the acrylic tiles are extra in the deluxe. The dual layer player boards are extra, and they are nice that they kind of keep the pieces from sliding around everywhere. So if you're looking to grab this, it's worth getting the deluxe version of it.
Yeah. So like, just to start, like again with Mike, the art and the presentation of this game is amazing. I do love the little glass bits. Like, they're really cool. Really, it's really neat. Originally, like without even playing, I was like, why do they have to all be different color? Like, shouldn't the shapes all be certain colors? Well, no, because that's not the goal of the game, you know? And so why everything is different colors makes a lot of sense. And honestly, I will say that if only 2 colors gave you issues out of the 8 colors, they did pretty good.
That's not bad.
You know, like I will say that as a non-colorblind person, right? But to me, like, wow, you did 8 and you only had 2 that were an issue. Like, nice work. The dual layer player board, super fun. I was kind of like had mixed feelings coming into this, because it's like that old grumpy Gen Xer in me where it's like, well, everybody says Escape's so good. Like, is it really that good? And I'm like, well, I don't know. We'll see. And then I'm like, yeah, it actually kind of is that good. It's pretty good. This game just does a lot of things right. It's kind of like what Mike was saying again with the entry level of this is really interesting. Like, because it's so easy to teach and to get into, but the choices, because you have to like remember the shapes you have here in your pan they're not going to be here. So you need to trigger, you know, it's going to tell you what tiles you can trigger. So there's like that timing of like, well, maybe I only need to take 2 from the lake. You know, maybe I don't need to like take everything from the lake.
You take 4 though, no matter what.
Oh, sure. But you know what I mean? Like, let's just say I don't need to take everything. You know, because you don't need to optimize this turn. Optimizing this action is not taking more pieces. It's making sure you get the pieces
right piece
that are going to let you get the
shape.
stuff you need later. So it's a little like counterintuitive. And then also counterintuitive sometimes is you don't necessarily want to take the tile with the most
pieces on it.
You need to take the tile that's got the pieces you need,
the right color,
because you want to be able to fill these rows out in a reasonable way. And then, you know, the problem is like, oh, these are rare. Well, sometimes that's like, that's great. Give me the rare ones. No, the rare ones are going to make it more difficult to fill that column up. So you have to kind of be smart with that. And if so for example, these yellows are like one of the more rare ones. If he's already got 2, I need to steer clear, because they're not going to do me any good, because I'm not going to be able to get a bunch more to push that column up. So just lots of really interesting things to think about when you're playing and while scoring. But I'll also say that for the more casual gamer, you don't necessarily need to fixate on that.
You don't have to min-max.
Just play and have a good time.
Yep.
I could see this game getting ruined by somebody trying to min-max.
It's like, just go, bro.
Yeah, this game ain't that hard. It shouldn't take that long. But I mean, I think we all tried to make judicious decisions, and it flowed really well and went very quickly. I don't know how necessary the acrylic tiles are, but they look nice.
They are nice.
I always do appreciate a dual layer player board, and like Bob said, the bag, the silk screen meeples look great, and these components, the little glass pieces, amazing artwork, 100%, 10 out of 10 all the way through. But I guess we need to rate this bad boy. Bobby,
it's me.
How do we do that?
Here on the board game rundown, when we rate a game, we're going to give it a score between 1 and 10. We're going to take our scores, we're going to average them together, and that will be what goes on BGG. Or if you ask us on Discord what we rated it, that would be the score that you get.
Mr. Mike.
It's an 8 for me.
Woo! He didn't even play.
Top-notch components and presentation and art. Very fun gameplay. It's strategic. I can see there being a lot of replayability in these modules and forcing you to play slightly differently each time. Light on rules, easy to teach new players. This game has a lot going for it. It's an 8 for me.
Mr. Hooper.
I was kind of back and forth between two scores, but something that Mike said triggered a thing where it's basically this game's not really solvable, right? Because there's a lot of games where it's like you have a static, right? You have a static starting spot and on the board. You know that this is my opening move. The fact that this is different every time you play it, it's going to be an 8 for me.
Yeah, I'm really close with you guys, except I think that the modules are going to give you that layer of asymmetry that makes it just a little bit better. So I'm going to give it an 8.5 because I agree. Everything you guys said, like that's an 8, like it does all these things. But then it's like, oh, asymmetry. And again, not just like, oh, I want to be the frog because I like his power. No, the asymmetry is here and you've got the module. So if you have the expansion, you're going to be able to add different ways to make your play, even better, right, and a little bit different. And if there's one that just doesn't work for you or you don't like, there's enough where you just don't ever use that one. It's fine. It's a couple of cards. Like don't sweat it. Leave them in the box.
Yeah.
So
that's going to make our average 8.2.
Nice.
It's pretty good.
Good score.
It's a good score.
Yeah. So if you are out and about at All Play, obviously All Play's got just a dynamic catalog of games right now.
This is one of their quote unquote big box games from All Play. But yeah, they did a great job. They're continuing to crush it. And I will say this because I think I said this on the last All Play game video. I challenge you to make a game that stinks. Yeah.
Well, don't do that.
No.
I like how much they can cram into boxes that size.
Yeah.
I mean,
for sure.
Yeah.
Also, I use far fewer shelves because I have more All Play games.
Yeah, no doubt. And I just love even the touch of the art. There's the gold foil inlay. This deluxe box is absolutely beautiful.
Yep.
You guys crushed it. The bag's beautiful.
Trying to get
love it.
Yeah.
Shiny.
Phenomenal.
Love it. Love it.
I even like the cinches on the end here.
Dude.
You don't see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Just like extra attention to detail. So, all right, guys. Well, for the board game rundown, I've been Tim.
Bob.
I was a turtle with a top hat.
Ooh, fancy. We'll see you next time.
Do you like to party?
I do like to party.
I also like to party.
I like to party.
A 7.3.
This is a great party.
Repeating.
We should party more often.
I do like to party.
Okay.
I also like to party. I also like to party.
I like to party. I like to party.
We should party more often.
Okay.
This is a great party.
Okay.